Hello and welcome to Nagin Academy. Today we are going to talk about the most important verb in English, which is to be. But we are going to talk about to be in the present tense. To be in the present tense. It's super easy, so let's find it out together. We are going to step by step and learn it easily. The forms of to be. Look at here, guys. We have three different forms of to be verbs: am, is, and are. Only these three can be used in present tense, simple present or present simple. But here we have different subjects. For example, we have subject I, we have subject you. Very good, excellent. We have subject he, she, it, we, and they. These are all subjects in English language. Whenever we want to talk about I, which of these to be verbs can be used? Perfect. Am. So I have to say I am. Very good. For you, we have to say you excellent. You are. You are. And for he, we have to say is. He is. From now on, it's super easy. For she, again, we have to use this to be verb is. For it, again, we have is. For we have are. We have to say we are. And for they, we have to say they are. As you could see, these three are similar. You are, we are, they are. Let me change the color. And these three are similar. He is, she is, and it is. The only difference here is I am. Am should only be used for the subject I. We shouldn't say you am. It's completely wrong. We don't have he am. It's completely wrong. We don't have they am. It's completely wrong. Only the subject I can be used with the to be verb am. Let's look at some examples. I'm going to erase the board, and here I'm going to write some examples for you. First example, we have the subject I, a teacher. Which to be verb can be used here? I am. Excellent. I am a teacher. Next one, the second example, we have the subject you and a student. Which to be verb should be used? You are. Excellent. You are a student. Next one, the third example, we have the subject he. Happy. What should we say? We have to say he is happy. Next one, number 4, we have the subject we, and here we have friends. We have this subject. What should we use? We are. Excellent. We are friends. And the last example is they. Here we have they subject. And for the verb, what should we use? Whatever comes here doesn't matter. The only thing that matters here is the subject. We have to say they are. For example, we could say they are at school. They are at school. So it's super easy. Now let's look at the short forms of these to be verbs. Here, as you could see, we have the full form am, are, is, are. These are all in full forms, right? But whenever you want to speak, you have to use the short forms. In another word, we could say you have to contract the to be. How? Let's find it out. Let me erase the board and I'm going to write it here. As we said, for I we have to use I am. And whenever we want to contract it, whenever we want to use it in short form, we have to say I'm, like this. Super easy. I am, I'm, What happened here? We omit this vowel here. We don't have it here anymore. And instead of this vowel, we have this sign here. Next one, you, the full form is are, right? How should we contract this one? It's super easy. Let's look at here. Instead of saying you are, in a spoken language, we have to say your. Again, here we have this and this, like this. What happened? Again, the vowel has been omitted here. We don't have any A vowel. So we have to omit A, and change it to this sign. It doesn't matter what we call it in English, grammar, or in, let's say, spelling. Just notice it, how to write it. Next one is he. Here we have the he and to be verb. He is. How should we contract this one? Super easy. Like the other, we have to omit the vowel and change it to this one and only S. His. And for she and for it, the formula is the same. We always have to use this formula. For instance, we have to say she's, we have to say it's, but the pronunciation is a little bit different. His, its. Here we have sound, and here we have this sound. His, she's, but it's. And for we, I'm going to write it here. Look at here. We are, like exactly with you. It's super easy. We're. Yeah, we're. And for they, we don't have any spots. Let's write it here. Instead of saying they are, we have to say their. Okay, now let's look at some examples. I'm going to write the whiteboard and let me change the color, the pink one. So instead of saying I am happy, how should we contract this one? Super easy. We have to say I'm happy. I'm happy. Next one, for example, you are smart. You are smart. How should we contract it? Yeah, you're smart. You're smart. Next one, let me write it in the contracted form, and you are in charge of changing to after the full form. For example, imagine that we have an example which is it's sunny. This is the contracted form. Am I right? How should we change it to the full form? Yeah, just we have to add the vowel I before S. It is sunny. It is sunny, but it's sunny. Or for instance, we have they're late. The full form is they are late. They are late, and the full stop here. And now let's look at the negative sentences. Let me erase the board and next slide. As you know, we have positive sentences and negative sentences. By positive, I mean, let me write it here on the board. We have positive, and here on this side we have negative. Negative examples and positive examples. Let's write with purple this time. For example, in this sentence, I am happy. Let's draw a face. It means I'm happy. It's a positive sentence. To be is positive. But when we want to say a negative sentence, nice and easy, we only add not. So we have to use not for negative sentences. How? Here we have to use it after the to be verb. For example, I have to say I am not happy. I am not happy. For instance, if this is the face, I am not happy. Where should we use not? After the to be verb. Here in this position. If we consider it as a second position, this one as a first position, and this one as a second, not should come in the third position. For example, next example, you are late. You are late. For example, you were supposed to come at 1 o'clock, but for instance, you arrived at 1:30, so you are late. How should we make it to the negative sentence? Again, we have to use not after the to be verb. You are not late. You are not late. And another example, for example, she is here. How should we make it to the negative sentence? Nice and easy. Add not after the to be. She is not here. She is not here. Again, we have short forms for all of these examples. Instead of saying I am not happy, I can say I'm not happy. Instead of saying you are not late, I can say you're not late. You're not late. Instead of saying she is not here, I can say she's not here. She's not here. Also, we have another kind of, let's say, contraction whenever we have negative sentences. Let's find it out together. Let me erase this board. For example, I can say I am, for instance, I am sad. The negative form, I am not sad, right? Here we have the full form. But if I want to say the contracted form of it, I have to say, I'm not sad. I'm not sad. What happened here? I contracted the to be verb. As you know, we have to omit the vowel A and just add this sign, and we could say, I'm not sad. I'm not sad. And with you, for instance, instead of saying you are not, let me just write the negative sentences. You are not late. We have to say, very good, you aren't late. You aren't late. What happened here, guys? As you could see, here we could contract the not. Yeah, we could contract the not. How? Super easy. Look at the not, the form of it. What happened here? We just omit the O, the vowel in between. But we have another option. This is the first option whenever it comes to contraction, the to be verb. And the second form of it is that I could say, for example, let me write it again. You're not late. You aren't late. You're not late. You aren't late. You're not late. You're not late. What happened in this contraction? Here we contracted the to be, the thing that you've already learned about it. We contracted the to be, you're not late. We just leave the not in the full form. But here in the first option, we contracted the not. It's up to you. It's optional. You can use the first option or you can use the second option. It doesn't matter which one you are going to use. Whatever you like, choose it and just say it and use it in your everyday language. So, you aren't late. You are not late. We have another option. For example, he's not hungry. Let's contract it in these two, let's say, forms. The first one, we are going to contract a not. How should we say it? He isn't isn't. Pay attention to the pronunciation. He isn't. Isn't. He isn't hungry. Next option is that we could say he's not hungry. Is not hungry. Let me write it with the red here. Here we contract not. Here we contract to be. So I insist on it. It's optional, guys. You could use the first one or the second one. Doesn't matter. The only thing that you have to remember is that whenever you contract the to be, you have to omit the vowels here. Vowels, I, a, whatsoever. And for not, it happens, it has the same actually rule. We have to omit the O. Look at here. This is the not, and when we want to contract it, we have to write it like this. Nt. You aren't. He isn't. And next example. We aren't. Just a moment, sorry. We aren't busy. What happened here? Here the full form is that are not. But whenever we want to contract it, we have to say aren't. Aren't. And next one is that, for instance, she isn't at home. The full form is that she is not at home, but the contraction is that isn't. I am not tired. I'm not tired. This is the exception. Please pay attention, guys. The full form is that I am not, but the contraction is I'm not. Here we don't have this actually two different forms in order to pronounce it, in order to write it. We have only one option. Whenever we have the to be am, we should only contract the to be. We have to leave not alone. We don't have any kind of rule in order to contract it when it comes with to be am. So I'm not. We don't have such a thing to say. For example, let me write it with blue. We don't have I amn't. It's completely wrong. We don't have such a form in English language. Only whenever you have the to be am, the only option that you have is the contraction of the to be, and you have to leave the negative sign, the not, alone. Okay, now let's talk about how we are allowed to make the question with to be. Questions with to be verbs, am, is, and are. Let's look at some examples. You are ready. Next example. Is she your friend? Is she your friend? This is the question. Next example. They are late. Let's look at the next sentences. You are ready. Here we have the subject at the beginning of the sentence and the to be verb in the second position. First, second. This is the order of any kind of sentences that we have in English. First subject and then verb. Here we have to be verb. So nice and easy. You are ready. How should we change it to a question form? Nice and easy, guys. We have only move, exchange somehow the first and second. We have to put the verb at the beginning of the sentence and we have to put the subject in the second position. Let's look at here. For instance, we have to say, are you, let me write it in this lowercase letter. Are you ready? Are you ready? What happened? Yeah, the second comes to at the beginning of the question, and here the subject should come in the second position whenever you have a question. So, are you ready? This one. Is she your friend? This is a question. This is already a question. What happened here? We have the to be at the beginning of the question, and here we have the subject. How can we change it to a sentence? Just we have to change the order. Like in the first example, we have to say she is your, let me write it here. She is your friend. This is example, this is a sentence, and this is the question, just by changing the order of subject and the to be verb. Let's look at this one. They are late. Here we have the subject at the beginning of the sentence in the first position and to be in the second position. What should we do? Like other examples, we have to change the order of the subject and the verb. Nice and easy. We have to say, are they late? Are they late? Are they late? Okay, and please bear in your mind that whenever you want to make a question and when it comes to writing, and whenever this question comes at the beginning of the, for instance, a paragraph or a sentence, you have to write in capital letters, guys. This is super important. The reason that why I write all of them in lowercase, it's only because of showing you the question format of these sentences. But when it comes to writing, the formal writing, you have to write them in capital R, etc. Okay, now let's look at how can we answer these questions. Let me erase the board. For example, if we have this question, are you a student? Are you a student? How should we answer it? We can answer this question with yes or with no. You have only two options, yes or no. So whenever you have a to be at the beginning of your question, you have two options, yes or no, depends on the context and depends on what happened. So you have to answer it. If you want to answer in a positive way, this is positive and this is negative. You have to say yes, for example, I am. Or if you want to answer a negative way, you have to say no, I'm not. This is the contraction. The full form is that no, I am not. The thing that happened here is that, let's look at here. Whenever you want to answer in positive way, we don't have any short forms. You only have to use your you have to only say your short answer in positive form. If you say yes I'm, is completely wrong. So this form is wrong whenever you want to provide your listener with a short positive answer. So whenever you want to say it in a positive way, you have to use the full form of the to be. This is the only option. But for the negative ones, you have two options. You could contract the to be and or let's leave it in full form. It depends on you. No, I am not. No, I am not. But this one is much more common and let's say usual whenever it comes to spoken language. Next slide, let's look at here. Is she alone? Is she alone? We have again two options. If you want to say yes, we have to say yes, she is. We can't say yes, she's. Let me write it. This one is completely wrong because this is the short positive answer. And in short positive answers, you have to use the full form of the to be. But whenever you want to say with no, you could say no, she isn't. No, she isn't. Or we have two options if you can remember. No, she's not. Two options. You can contract not, or you could contract the to be. Understood? Next example. Let me change the color. With this one. Are they, oh my god, what happened to my tea? Are they late? Are they late? Again, yes or no? I mean, all ears, guys. Answer this question. Are they late? Perfect. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Exactly. Perfect. We couldn't say yes, they're. It's completely wrong. Only full form for short positive answers to be verbs. But then for the negative form, we could say no, they aren't. No, they aren't. Or I could say no, they the full form. You can use the full form. No, they are not. Or another option is that I'm going to write it here. Let's look at here. They're not. They're not. But please, 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 guys, do remember, whenever you want to answer the questions with to be, and if the answer is negative, it's better and it's much more common to contract the not. So this type and this type is much more common than other types of it. If you want to contract to be, it's okay. It's not grammatically wrong, but the contraction of not is much more common in a spoken language. Now I have some, let's say, exercises for you, and it's better to say call to action. It's your turn, guys. I'm going to write some samples for you, and if you could answer them, leave your comments in the comments below. The first one, here we have a blank, a singer. You have to use am, is, are. Which one is correct here? Which one? Next one, number 2, she, not here. Next one, you tired? Question. Number 4, they, my best friends. And the last one, he a teacher. 5, let's say, exercise here do have, and you have to fill in the blanks with what? With am, is, or are. Please answer them and leave your comment in the comment below.